Hello everyone, welcome to Anime No Me, and thank you for joining us for another One Piece video. Teach is causing some major mayhem around the world, and has even gone so far as to capture important people, making him a much more significant and powerful character in the story, kinda like Garp and even Katakuri. So in today's video, we're going to talk about the possibility of Garp teaming up with Katakuri to save Koby and Pudding, who are currently being held hostage by Teach and the rest of his pirate crew. But before we dive into the video, if you're new to the channel or even if you've watched a bunch of our videos, we'd be absolutely honored if you'd leave us a like and even subscribe and maybe leave us a comment letting us know what you thought of the video. It really helps us out, especially with that old YouTube algorithm, and it continues to motivate us to make more content. If you'd like to help out the channel in a bigger way, consider sharing this video or another one of your favorites with a friend. But without further ado, let's get into the video. So my friends, it's not news that Teach is one of the biggest dangers in the world of One Piece. Now, although his goals still aren't clearly known to this day, we know that he still wants to shake the world up as much as the pirate Rocksteady Zebek. Recently, he's become the target of two really important and powerful characters in the story, namely Garp and Katakuri. Teach is constantly chasing power to strengthen his crew so that he has the power on his side as the great battle to decide the fate of the world starts to build. We really are in that final stretch to find out who's gonna get to the One Piece treasure first. So Teach is trying his best to get any resource he can to find the treasure first. With some of the events that are set up to happen in the manga, there's a lot of possibilities that allow Garp to temporarily ally with Katakuri to be able to take down Teach, because both are going to have a mutual enemy to save the people they love and care about. Now, Garp has never been ordered to go after and capture Teach, so this pirate's never been really maybe on his mind. Unless the world government had ordered him to go after Teach, he probably would have never crossed paths. However, because of the recent events on Amazon Lily, this has made Garp want to go after the Blackbeard pirates. As we saw during the events on Amazon Lily, Koby, along with some other Navy ships, went to the island of Kuja Women to capture the former warlord Boa Hancock, because she was now sought after by the Navy because her deal with the world government had been annulled. And this was the plan until Teach showed up with some of the members of his crew in search of also capturing Hancock, but he rather wanted to take her life and steal her power. So on his way in, he took down Navy ships and invaded the island with his own subordinates. So now that the Navy saw that not only did they have the Kuja warriors who were putting up a huge fight, they also had the arrival of Blackbeard and his pirate crew. So the Navy decided to deploy a new generation of pacifistas called the Seraphim, first sending in S-Hawk to fight against Teach and his crew. Despite the tiny Mihawk Seraphim putting up a huge fight and demonstrating some immense power, Teach still managed to outwit the Seraphim and finally captured him. Then he was able to get his hands on Hancock, who had still managed to petrify most of the sailors and pirates who had been trying to capture, including Devon and Vasco Shot. Koby tried to de-escalate things and negotiate Hancock's release so that she could restore those who had been petrified. But Teach refused because he didn't want to trust Hancock, which added even more tension to the confusion of the scene that was going on. Before Teach could take the Empress Hancock's life, Silver's Rayleigh arrived just in the nick of time and was able to intimidate Teach enough that he spared Hancock and ended up leaving Amazon Lily, allowing everyone who had been petrified to be returned to normal. Teach, however, was not going to leave empty-handed though, so during his escape, he ended up capturing Koby and took him hostage. Helmeppo tried to ask for help to rescue Koby from Sword, but no one was willing to help them in the Navy command. The Navy would not interfere in the affairs with the Yonko, so there wouldn't be any kind of battle between either side. So it seemed all hope was lost until Garp appeared on the island and invited Helmeppo and a few other Navy sailors to accompany him on a quest to save Koby, thus forming the team that is on its way to Full-Lead Island to rescue him. This is all because Garp is the mentor of Koby and Helmeppo, considering them practically sons with all the time they spent together. Garp is ultimately responsible for keeping them out of trouble and making sure they don't run out and do things they're really not equipped to do. This is the very same love that Garp shows Luffy after trying to hit him with his punches of love and try and stop him from doing reckless things. And it demonstrates that Garp has that same level of affection for Koby, although his affection is shown in a much kind of more aggressive way because he's his commander. And just as Garp is quite fond of Koby, Koby also admires Garp. And Garp is really a great inspiration to him because he's pretty much the kind of Marine that Koby wants to become, which is why they both have this deep relationship between them. So with Garp on his way to confront Teach and his crew, and with the small group of sailors he has with him, it's likely that they could end up up running into Katakuri, because Katakuri could be going after Pudding, because after everything that happened in Whole Cake Island with Germa and Teach's pirates, Pudding is currently in the custody of Blackbeard as well. During the Wano arc, as the Straw Hats faced off against the mighty Yonko, there was a huge amount of confusion that was going on Big Mom's Island because she wasn't there. And after everything that had happened on Whole Cake Island during the wedding, they still were there to capture Caesar, who had been held captive by Big Mom's children, adding even more chaos to the aftermath. The Blackbeard pirates, with Kuzan and Van Augur, arrived in Chocolate Town, and they kidnapped Pudding and froze the entire rest of the city, including Cracker, who had been trying to stop them, but his power just couldn't match the former Admiral Kuzan. Pudding was then taken back to the pirate ship and is currently on the seas, where each of Teach's crew is currently searching for one of the 3 pirates responsible for bringing down Big Mom and Kaido. Now, Teach himself had been waiting on a nearby island, waiting for one of the pirate crews who had participated in the battle in Wano to basically wander into his path. And this is when he came across Law and his crew of Heart Pirates, causing a huge battle that is currently going on between these 2 crews. As the Blackbeard pirates attacked the Heart Pirates, Pudding sat in her prison cell on the ship, being watched over by 2 weaker members of Teach's crew. However, when Teach's ship was attacked by the Polar Tang, one of Blackbeard's subordinates boasted of his admiral's strength. Pudding replied that her mother would stop him if she were still alive. But the subordinate retorted, saying that Trafalgar Law had been the man that supposedly killed Big Mom and had started this new era where old legends are overthrown, and laughed at Pudding's thoughts of ever managing to escape these pirates. Now, of course, the reason that Teach grabbed Pudding was because Pudding is pivotal to his dreams coming true. Because as she's a member of the 3-Eye tribe, it's alleged that she is one of the few people that is able to read the poneglyphs, and this is of course dependent on whether she can awaken her clan's inner powers. So Teach right now, at all cost, needs Pudding for his goals to come true. So he needs to keep her by his side and prevent anyone from trying to steal her from him or liberate her. However, Katakuri just might be going to save his sister at this moment, preventing Teach from ever being able to use her power to get the treasure he so desires. So Katakuri, along with some of his brothers and sisters, could be near Teach's island as well, just like Garp's ship will be. Katakuri cares deeply about his family and is a very loyal and honorable son and brother, and always prioritizes his family over his own life. He would never hesitate to eliminate anyone who had threatened him, or more importantly, his family. And we don't exactly know what Pudding's relationship is with Katakuri, because he has this really reclusive style of personality when it comes to his siblings. But still, Katakuri is going to prioritize her rescue and personally will go to save her. If Garp and Katakuri both end up off the coast of Fullaled Island at the same time, this could make them form a temporary alliance to save Kobe and Pudding, because after all, they both have the same enemy. And this might be a very necessary thing where, even if for a little while, they're both going to work together to get this common objective, because they do have to take down a powerful Yonko who has 2 devil fruits and is growing in threat every single day. This also isn't the first time that Garp has ever teamed up with a pirate, because way back in the day, Garp was teaming up with Roger to take down Zebek, and this might be kind of a reflection or a repeat of things from the past. But these events might take a while to unfold because there's currently a major confrontation taking place on Egghead Island. So we might get little cutscenes or little glimpses where Garp and Katakuri and Teach currently are, but we might not get the full actual battle until everything on Egghead Island is wrapped up. And what's more, we still don't know the conclusion of what's happening between Teach and Law. So we don't know if Teach managed to defeat Law and get the knowledge of the road poneglyphs that he has in his possession, or if Teach was defeated by Law. To be honest, it's still really too early to try and speculate who might have won this match, but it's probably likely, narratively at least, that it's gonna be Teach, because the story is showing that he's gonna build up to that possible big bad at the end of the story. Because we're in the final arc of One Piece, it's gonna be the moment when Teach is gonna start moving his plans to achieve his true goal. So Garp and Katakuri might be that next big obstacle for this emperor. But even if Garp is up in age, if we could see a alliance between Garp, one of the most powerful marines maybe ever, uniting with Big Mom's most powerful son, even for just a single fight to face a Yonko, this is gonna be great, because this Yonko is holding people precious to both of them, so we'll get to see them unleash and hold nothing back. But with all that said, my friends, we'd now love to know what you think about this. What do you think? Do you think that Garp and Katakuri might find a common edge and want to form an alliance off the coast? And also, what do you think is gonna happen between Teach and Law? Who do you think is gonna come out on top, and what is Teach's next move? Let us know what you think in the comments below. So as we wrap up our video for the day, we'd like to thank you all so much for watching, especially those of you who've made it here to the very end. Be sure you comment on any themes or ideas that you'd like to see in future videos. And also, since you made it this far, give us a like and hit that red subscribe button before you head out to take on the rest of your day. Hope to see you all in our next video, and let's keep sailing this giant sea together. Take care.